2NURFM News for our sponsor, Cartier Jewellery. Always unique, always quality. Toronto Town Square.
It's 2 o'clock. Good afternoon. It's 2 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Edie Diemar with 2NURFM Hunter News. New South Wales opposition leader Luke Foley claims his so-called TAFE rescue package is affordable. If Labor is elected to government next month, they're promised to wind back TAFE fees to 2014 levels, abolish the Smart and Skilled privatisation program and limit the amount of public funding to private vocational training providers to 30%. Luke Foley says the Bard government commitment to provide scholarships to 50,000 TAFE students doesn't go far enough.
Reversing those fee increases. That's the best thing I can do for disadvantaged students. Mike Baird's policy puts lipstick on a pig. It helps 10% of students. Labor's policy, reversing the massive fee hikes, helps 100% of TAFE students.
Meanwhile, Morpeth painting contractor Ted Lantry says TAFE fees for his apprentices have gone up by 25% this year and he can't afford to keep paying them.
This year the course cost $2,000 to pay course fees and to put the cost to put an apprentice through their time. It's a big slug on a small business. And as I said, if you've got to compete against other companies that won't put them on, we're going to lose work.
Paramedics have treated a man at the scene of an armed robbery in Jasmine this morning. Police say a man armed with a knife threatened staff at the Hungry Jack's restaurant on Blue Gum Road just after 6 o'clock. It is believed the assailant fled the premise with cash. The male attendant suffered mild injuries and is assisting police with their investigation. A mother and baby are subjected to police inquiry after being reported missing when they left their Metford home yesterday morning. Talitha Perry phoned her sister to say she was walking to a service station to buy cigarettes with her 3-week-old daughter, Camellia Lee. Talitha, who is developmentally delayed, has been described to police as being of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander appearance, 160 centimetres tall and of slight build. Sonia Roberts from police headquarters says she was last seen wearing a light green shirt, black singlet and black leggings.
When Talitha's sister returned home, she found her sibling and niece had not returned to their nearby home. She's reported the pair as missing to police last night, and late yesterday police were told Talitha had contacted her sister saying she was in Mount Druitt. Anyone who might have any information on Talitha or Camilla Lee's whereabouts should contact Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000.
State Transport and Roads Parliamentary Secretary Ray Williams insists he didn't say all Hunter schools have flashing lights for school zone hours. Residents and Cessnock MP Clayton Barr have been puzzled by statements Mr Williams made, believing he said all the regions are fully equipped when 6 electorates are not. Ray Williams said it is Newcastle, Charlestown and Maitland electorates which have the signage, and the rest of the state will meet the standard by the end of the year.
That was a promise that we made when we first came to government in 2011, and it is the best way to reduce speeds around schools and to ensure the safety of all our children, and we are delighted to be able to deliver on that promise.
AGL's operation at Gloucester are being tested this week, while the New South Wales Environment Protection Authority and Department of Resources and Energy search for banned chemicals in one of its Walk Ivory wells. Flowback water will be pumped and stored in an above-ground tank on site, while operations are sampled and analysed for BTEX chemicals. Following the sampling, AGL will then be required to cease all operations at its Walk Ivory pilot until the results are processed. In finance, the All Odds is up 16 points at 56.02, and $1 Australian is buying 78.7 US cents. Now with sports, it's Sarah Giuliano.
The Newcastle Knights have suffered a blow in the Auckland Nines over the weekend, with young talent Siono Matautia suffering an ankle injury which could see him benched for up to 10 weeks. Matautia will undergo scans this week to determine the severity of the injury, with the worst-case scenario predicting he could be sidelined for the first 10 rounds of the season. The injury could also put the 18-year-old's chances of joining the Australian Anzac Test side on May 1st in jeopardy. After a toxic week in the Newcastle Jets camp, where a player-led coup against coach Phil Stubbins resulted in the dismissal of 5 senior players, 3 staff members and the resignation of assistant coach Michael Bridges, some positive signings have emerged. The team has secured 4 players for the end of the season, including former Western Sydney defender Daniel Mullen, young attacker Travis Cooper and South Korean transfer Lee Kai-ji. And in golf, Belmont's Eliza Huff played comfortably in her professional debut at the Pennant Hills ALPG Pro-Am last Friday, finishing 7th. That's sport. I'm Sarah Giuliano.
2 in your FM news time is 2:05.